The Florida sun dipped low, casting long shadows through the lace curtains of my mother's colonial-style home in Sarasota. The air hummed with the distant call of gulls and the faint hum of air conditioning fighting the humid evening. Inside, the dining room table groaned under platters of pot roast, mashed potatoes laced with chives, and green beans glistening with butter. It was Sunday supper, a ritual as unyielding as the tide rolling into the Gulf. I slid into my usual spot at the table's end, where the conversations felt like echoes from another room. Mom presided at the head, her silver hair pinned back, a pearl necklace catching the light like a badge of quiet authority. To her right sat Jessica, my older sister, in a crisp linen blouse, swirling her iced tea as if stirring up her next judgment. On Mom's left, Victoria leaned close to her fiancé, Ryan, murmuring about a gallery show in St. Petersburg. They formed a perfect tableau, bathed in the warm glow, while I lingered on the periphery. As always, the chatter flowed predictably, updates on Jessica's marketing job at the ad firm, Victoria's latest interior design client, neighborhood whispers about the Johnsons' messy split. Then it veered to the family cruise they'd been planning for months, a Caribbean escape on a gleaming liner with infinity pools and starlit decks. I'd scrimped for it, picking up freelance graphic design gigs, skipping lunches, squirreling away every penny into a hidden app on my phone. A foolish hope flickered in me. Maybe this trip could bridge the chasms that had widened over the years, pull me back into the fold I'd been nudged out of since Dad passed. There was a pause after Mom waxed poetic about the ship's elegant ballroom and private cabanas. I seized it. "I've got my share saved up for the cruise," I said, my words steady but laced with that old vulnerability. The room froze. Utensils hovered. Ryan's gaze dropped to his plate. Jessica's mouth curved into a sly half-smile. Then Mom's laugh sliced through, sharp, crystalline, like shattered glass underfoot. "You really thought we'd cover you?" It wasn't just the dismissal, it was how her amusement lingered, echoing off the wallpapered walls, challenging anyone to protest. The silence that followed was thick, oppressive, the kind where you could hear your own heartbeat mocking you. I held her stare, my pulse thundering, but I wouldn't crack. "I've been saving," I began, but she flicked her wrist like swatting a fly. Turning to Jessica, "Pass the rolls, dear. These are from that artisanal bakery in town." The meal resumed, forks clinking, voices murmuring, but everything sharpened into exclusion. Each laugh, each shared glance, was a deliberate snub. I focused on my plate, the roast's juices pooling like blood, the herbs releasing a bitter scent. Dad's words echoed in my mind, "Watch closely, Emily. People reveal themselves in the quiet moments." So I observed, etching every detail into memory. Dessert arrived, pecan pie, slices arranged like a fan on her antique platter. Mom avoided my eyes. The bite I took turned to ash in my mouth. As coffee was poured for the others, I cleared my spot, ready to vanish. But Mom materialized in the kitchen archway. "Be a sweetheart and box up the leftovers for everyone," she said, thrusting Tupperware into my arms. It was a command disguised as kindness, relegating me to servant while they lingered in luxury. I complied without a word, the containers snapping shut like locks on secrets. From the doorway, Jessica's whisper floated, "She'll bounce back. Always does." I didn't flinch, just sealed the last lid. Exiting into the twilight, the air cooled my skin, carrying the tang of salt from the bay. My car waited under a street lamp, engine humming as I crossed the bridge to my Tampa apartment. The water below shimmered like scattered regrets. I didn't wallow, I cataloged. Every slight, every inflection, they thought I'd forget. They were mistaken. Home. I poured water, opened my journal, Date. Words. You really thought we'd cover you? Task. Leftovers for guests. Witnesses. All. I shut it. A quiet resolve building. A friend had once said, after her own family betrayal, silence cuts deeper than screams. They expected me to swallow it. This time, I wouldn't. Slipping back into the kitchen after the meal, the house felt hollow. The laughter from the dining room muffled like a distant storm. My purse sat on the counter, but as I reached for it, voices halted me. Mom and Jessica, huddled by the island. A thick envelope between them. Cruise fund scrawled in neat script. Jessica's fingers traced it before Mom tucked it away. Not for her, Jessica murmured. She has to earn her keep. The words landed like a dull ache. The shock of being erased from an inheritance reading. Instinct screamed confrontation. But Dad's advice held me. Choose your wars wisely. Or lose the fight. This wasn't mere oversight, it was a calculated game. One they'd mastered long before. I retreated soundlessly. Shoes whispering on tile. The next morning, under the guise of retrieving a forgotten scarf, I returned. Sunlight slanted through palms. The house scented with fresh coffee. On the counter, a printed itinerary. Names bolded: Mom, Jessica, Victoria, Ryan, even a cousin. At the bottom, TBD, payment required. No Emily. The paper's weight pressed into me. Inked proof of deliberate omission. TV droned from the living room, a morning show blaring too loud. I snapped a photo, aligning the sheet precisely before fleeing. Crossing the causeway back to Tampa. Waves glittered mockingly. Money in our family wasn't currency, it was control. A tether to remind you of your place. I'd felt its pull too long. By my desk, I saved the image in a folder, eyes open. No rush to strike. Timing was my weapon. And I'd wield it when they least expected. Waking early. The apartment's pale light felt heavy. Thoughts from the night before crowding like uninvited guests. Coffee burned bitter on my tongue. My journal lay open. A scrawled note from months ago. History rhymes when you let it. A colleague's wisdom after her sibling spat. Now, it fit this cruise farce, a repeat verse in our family's discordant song. Memory pulled me back a decade. Mid-20s. Grinding retail shifts amid holiday chaos. Pine scents cloying under fluorescence. My phone buzzed. Social media photo. Jessica. Mom. Victoria. Cousins beaming at a Colorado ski lodge. Caption. Family tradition. Chest constricting. I scrolled for invites, none. Called Mom. We figured you hated the cold. Too busy. I bought it then. Rewriting exclusion as care. Now, with the itineraries sting fresh, I saw the pattern, rehearsals and leaving me behind. Later that week, returning a dish from leftovers. Afternoon sun dappled the kitchen. Voices again, Jessica on speaker. Caitlin's thrilled for the cabin. Can't wait to surprise her. Caitlin. Jessica's college buddy. The TBD slot crystallized, not vacancy, but replacement. Betrayal deepened from omission to substitution. I lingered unseen. Face neutral. Swallowing the bile. Practice made perfect. Leaving quietly. I mentally tallied. Envelope. Itinerary. Now this. Patterns bind only if you cling. I was letting go. Home. Resolve hardened. They'd scripted me as outsider. I'd rewrite the ending. Twilight wrapped the backyard in warmth. String lights twinkling like false promises. Pre-cruise barbecue. Burgers sizzling. Salads in colorful bowls. Laughter bubbling. Cruise-bound guests glowed. Others subdued. I hovered at the edge. An extra in their play. Mom clinked her glass. Family unity means pulling your weight. Some learn it young, I'm proud. Glances flicked my way. Some pitying, others smug. Not a toast, a veiled thrust. Resolve solidified amid the Neil Young tunes and ice clinks. Inside, cruise crew gathered for fittings, hats, cover-ups, photos. Through glass, their joy mocked. A neighbor asked, joining. Not this time. Exclusion performative now. I bid quick goodbyes before cake. Driving into quiet streets. They built their spectacle, I'd craft mine. Stopping by to return a pan. Humid air thick with cicadas. Voices in the hall, Mom and Jessica. Family funds flush now? Yes. From the old beach rental sale. My inheritance portion. Supposedly family needs. Just between us for those upholding our image. Heat flared, not sun. But rage. This. Financial theft masked as equity. I snapped a photo of the bank statement peeking out. Memorizing digits. Then slipped away. That night, Instagram lit up, them at a chic eatery. Pastels coordinated. Toasting. Caption, family only. Binder visible, the itinerary. Public sting intended. I screenshotted. Saved. Evidence trumped fury. Mom's midday call, join if you pay up front. Means so much. Syrupy bait. I demurred. At the farmer's market. Scents of honey and herbs soothing. I overheard a cousin, Emily's out, funds tight. Lies layered. Home. Another envelope misdelivered, cruise docs excluding me. Saved it all. Peeking in Mom's study. Sweater in hand, bank statement confirming payments from my share to Victoria's upgrades. Photo taken. Then an email, booking confirmed, full roster. Know me. Attachments, proofs. They documented their own deceit. Party night, tiki torches. Seafood feast. Photo booth with nautical props. I blended. Observing smug exchanges. Slipped away. Changed fund passwords, locked them out. Silent reclamation. Morning chaos, calls flooding. Voicemails panicked. I savored coffee. Letting them unravel. At the party flashback, envelope of withdrawal docs handed to Mom. Pay yourselves. Shock rippled. Airport meltdown, cancellation video circulated. Justice poetic. Days later. I called Mom, restored funds? No. Access revoked. Her pleas turned clipped. I blocked. Posted subtly, left out? Best gift. Support flooded. Story shared. Freedom breathed. Aunt Lena visited with old photo. Affirming, your family. Boundaries held. Gala night, Mom honored for family values. I stood. Presented evidence calmly. Whispers spread. Image shattered. Blocked her accusatory text. Waterfront walk, salt air. Gulls wheeling. Their shadows lifted. I cruised toward my own horizon. Key in hand. No regrets. The price of choices? Worth every silent cut.